was a lady in secondary school that I liked. I wasn't going to ask her out, but I was just attracted to her. Do you understand? You just take.
They give me side eye.
I want to hear the story now. How bad was it?
So he broke up a week to his own introduction. Investing in you or spending on you, he doesn't really love you.
Investing on top of ice cream.
So
Y2K for a reason.
This next question says, all my life I've been seen as an object of physical attraction to men. I didn't mind it in my teenage years. I wasn't saved and I enjoyed the attention. But now I am saved and I am older and I'm disgusted by it. I want to meet someone, fall in love and build a godly home. But only men who are in the world seem to be interested in me. I'm mostly for my physical attributes. I notice that even godly men who are interested in me are only physically attracted to me and not looking to explore anything deep. I'm a beautiful girl. I have a growing relationship with God. I like to believe I'm of good character. I've worked on myself through therapy, counseling, and my work with God. So I like to know, is this a spiritual thing? Am I the problem? It really hurts. So that's...
Hi, everybody. Wow, that's a lot to unpack. There are some girls who have a particular figure that is not easy to sexualize. In other words, it's not right, but that men often sexualize. And I've known people like that, and it can be very challenging. But you need to also have, I'm not saying that people catcalling you or only wanting to be in a relationship with you is a good thing. That's not a good thing. But I'm saying that whoever is going to date you for your character will also be attracted to you physically. And you must have a mindset that not all physical attraction is evil. It's very important that you get that. There's going to be somebody who loves your mind, who loves the way you think, who loves your values, but the person is also going to be attracted to how you look, because you also need to be attracted to the way that person looks. Now, if you find yourself in situations where people are only after the physical, I would recommend that you change your circle. The people you are following online, the people you are hanging out with, what you wear. Please listen. I'm not saying that people should take advantage of your body and make comments because of what you wear. But I'm saying that there is a way you can constantly post thirst straps, dress in a particular kind of way that will attract some kinds of people. Do you get that? So you must also be able to present the parts of you that people didn't even know about. When you are posting, let's see more of your intellectual thoughts, the causes you stand for, the faith you profess. So you must also learn to put your voice out there so that people can know that there is more to this person than a nice figure. But I'm telling you, if you spend more time around good church people, granted, somebody said church is a hospital. Some people are responding to treatment, some are not. But if you spend time around good church people, there might be one or two that will have scoring. But there will also be that person, those people who look beyond just how you look. But don't demonize all physical attraction, because whoever you marry will still be attracted to you physically, and you probably also still be attracted to them physically. But changing your circle, having more Christian friends, I think that those things will really help and go a long way. And then when you meet someone you like also, I'm not saying it's on you or it's your fault. When you meet someone you like, don't put your physical attributes at the forefront. Don't be in a rush to be physical in one way or the other, or talk about your body in one way or the other. So as much as possible, if you've been in the world for a while, you might not even know that you present in a way that's not as platonic as you think. I'm not blaming you, I'm saying, for example. So learn to have other conversations and change your circle.
Very good one. And I just want to say this. There are many things that people will pay money for, speaking like in commercial terms. There are many things that people will pay money for that they will rather have for free. And this is what I mean. All your valuables in your house, you keep them locked. Isn't that true? So what I'm trying to say is, when you have something beautiful, something that a lot of people treasure, but that should not be trivialized. You are now going to make it inaccessible. That's what you do. Because God did not make a mistake making you beautiful. You can't blame God for it. And I can even make an argument that you shouldn't be unthankful that God gave you those attributes. It's a good thing. Come on, do you understand what I'm saying? And so, if everyone is drooling about it, well, you are free. But at the same time, just make sure that you are not easily accessible. Put some boundaries in your life and look away from, now, I don't know if you remember the day we were on a date. This was 2011. I was taking you to KFC, and there was this pervert of a man. Do you remember? At the fuel station. He was just looking at this babe like this, lost. Walking and looking. It was as if he wanted to enter. I said, chairman. This one, red-handed. I can't even remember what he was. Red-handed. He said, sorry bro. He had to apologize. He knew this one was not red-handed. I catch him. He was lost. So unfortunately, the world is full of people like that. But guess what? Even perverts don't treat all women the same way. They will come at you with the same perverted energy, but when you can immediately put them in their place, and they will know how not to talk to you going forward.
So good.
So they will know how not to talk to you going forward. When you walk, just imagine you're new at a job, you just got a job. They will usually throw some things to, you know how they do now, to test you, to see where you stand. Some will just hold your waist in a totally different way. And when you say, I don't like to be held that way, they will say something foolish like, I get your type for house. See, listen, even godly women, you must have like 7 polite insults. Rehearse it. Practice the scenarios. Because at least once in your life, one idiot will come your way. Some of you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Write it down. You know how we used to do in primary school? You mess, something, carry foul. You know all those things? Practice it.
Y2K for a reason.
Exactly.
This person says, I have received prophecies about marriage for such a long time, for years actually. I've had dreams about it as well. I've also had dreams where Pastor talked about my marriage. This has gone on for years. However, I haven't dated anyone in about 10 years. There's no guy coming around, and yet God still talks about marriage with me. To be sincere, I am tired. I've grown so in love with myself, and I'm self-aware. I wonder what being in a relationship would be like. So the question is, she says, I don't know how to navigate this. I'm tired of marriage and the relationship talk even as well. So, yeah.
Interestingly, my wife asked me this question yesterday night. The subject of attraction and how we should be handled. And we talked about it, and I think this morning and this afternoon I thought about it again. There is something called relative attractiveness or something like that. And this is how it works. Have you ever noticed, maybe in secondary school or university, that there are some people who are not physically so attractive, but everybody seems to like? Answer me now. And you've always wondered, well, why is it like that? And what are the things that make it so? Let me give a business example. Because marketers even use it to influence buyers' decisions. Two people sell hot dogs. Both of them have the same size of sausage roll. But one of them, the bread is big, and so the sausage roll is lost in the inside. You can't see it. The other one, the bread is actually smaller, significantly smaller than the first one. So the sausage roll, you can see it on both ends. Psychologically, people are more likely to buy the one with the smaller bread because it gives the illusion of abundance, like, these people, their sausage roll is small. Meanwhile, it's the bread that is smaller. And some people just use that in marketing and all of that. And the truth is, this finds expression in day-to-day life. To bring it to modern day perspective or to your context, there are so many things I want to say, but first and foremost, start with the simple things. How comfortable are you in your own skin? Do you like yourself? Do you think many times there are just some simple things that we think people don't notice about us, but that other people notice? If you are not confident, it shows. If you think that if people date you, they're going to be making a mistake, it shows. To the little things, you struggle to keep eye contact. When they try to shake you, your handshake is so weak. And then when they try to ask you out on a date, you self-sabotage. Or you are defensive at any little comment because you have already disqualified yourself. These are some things you need to begin to watch carefully about yourself. That being said, I also want to give... Can I talk? Sometimes change your environment. Change your environment. Try new things. Whilst you're waiting, go for a master's program or do something. Change your environment. Sometimes that works. And it's been proven psychologically. See, even the concept of relativity, I don't want to go into proper psychology, all right? But let me just say this. In a village of blind people, the one-eyed man is the king. All right? And sometimes it is just where you are, that makes people not to really notice you. Do you understand what I'm saying? It may not apply in every context, but in some contexts, that just might be where you need. And please be led by the Spirit of God. There is also a favor component to these things. Somebody said something and I think it's very profound. Just think about it. You are Esther and you want to go and talk to the king to repeal a law that wasn't going to favor your people. What you would naturally want to do is to be of your best physique at that time. Eat well, rest well, cream up and all of that. But instead, Esther is fasting. And when Esther is fasting, she's going to look leaner, she's going to look sickly, and all of that. But it's the fasting that gets the job done. Are you getting what I'm saying? Sometimes the spiritual energy is counterproductive from a logical standpoint, but that's what works. I've seen people who were dealing with spiritual patterns and didn't even know it. I've seen someone, I've heard of a case, all right, as the pastor prayed for her like this, as soon as she got outside, the first car passing stopped and said, "Hello, how are you? You look very nice. Can I get your phone number?" And took her out on a date. So there's a spiritual aspect to it. I won't lie to you. There is the behavioral aspect to it. There are some people, they look very nice on the outside. When you come closer, there is something that repels people, and they just can't tell you. So you really need to have people around you who can give you honest feedback. The first time I said this, people judged me, and people say, and all of that. But I'll say it again just for your benefit. There was a lady in secondary school that I liked. I wasn't going to ask her out, but I was just attracted to her. Do you understand? You just take, Secondary school, exactly. He died one day, and I will tell you why he died. He died instantly. She was in class, very brilliant lady. And she dipped her pen into her ear. Roddy, drew out very big wax. And she left it on the pen and continued writing. I was seated by her side. See, it be like say, they pour me the thing, the feeling died on the spot. From that moment, never to return. So, maybe you need to ask people honestly, all right? People who care about you and love you. Start there. Some of you brush, you spend all the time on the teeth. It's the tongue that smells. Brush the tongue. I know it's at the talk. Brush the tongue. Look out for yourself. Again, like I said, there is a spiritual component. There is the behavioral component. See, attraction is not just in dressing, it's in the way you carry yourself. Do you believe what I'm saying? And you can get better at those things. All right? Read books so that when you have conversations, do you understand what I'm saying? There'll be things to talk about. And this works for both genders too. All right, I must add. Especially in 2026. It doesn't matter the way you were born. There are some things you can do to improve your appearance. If I knew they were going to ask this question, I was going to show some images. See, if you have good dentition, you are going to improve your attractiveness by more than 10%. Just dentition. And that one, you can work on it. You can work on it. I've seen many people, maybe there was an accident, you fell or something, or it's just genetics. All right, there are some things you can do to put your, come on, I get what I'm saying? I know these are the things we don't talk about in church. We just pray for you and say, favor, take it, you know, and all of that. But there are some things on your own part that you can work on, whether you like it or not. People look out for those things. Come on, I get what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you can't marry yourself. Mrs. Awushika, sitting on this very chair, this morning said something. It's a general rule in life. The things that are beyond your control, embrace them. It is one thing to be single, it's another thing to be depressed. You can't marry yourself. Be at peace, trust God, trust God's timing. Come on, are you getting what I'm saying? And that's it. Another thing I want to quickly mention, I'm going to hand over to my wife. Can I talk?
So we decided that we'll just take 2 in-person questions. So while Apostle is speaking, just 2 people, you can just walk to meet PD.
Just 2 people, please.
I said, okay, just 2.
Now, do I have your attention? The reason why a lot of people are single is because the people they want don't want them.
Preach, sir.
And many times we have unnecessarily unrealistic expectations. Remember the lady we asked, what kind of man do you want to marry? She said she wants someone who is a medical doctor, who is British, but can speak Yoruba.
So mixed race, right? But then he has to be British on the mother's side. Then Nigerian
no jokes,
on the father's side. She have a surname like Tokumbor. Then
some of you will watch movie and build a fantasy in your head.
A fantasy that has nothing to do with what makes a successful marriage.
Listen to me. Many times, the man of your dreams, you will join the person to build him.
Sir, please, you need to say it again.
Let me say it again. the man of your dreams, you will join him to become that man. You will build him to become that man. You know, it's comfortable to see a finished product and like the person and all of that and all of that. The truth is, some of you were surprised to hear that I was broke when we got married. I was. Come on, are you listening to me? So have realistic expectations, and don't come out from that fairy tale fantasy, and really trust God and choose right from the people that God is bringing your way by Kairos. All right.
Yeah, I think you've said it all, sir. Let's take the questions.
I want to ask, how do I learn to love? Because
How do you what? Learn to love?
So I'm saying this because for platonic friendships, it's not really hard for me. But when it comes to romantic relationships, it's very hard for me to detach easily. Like, once I just notice something, I can flip very fast.
So it's very easy to detach.
Yes, it's very easy to detach from the person. So this has been going on for a while, and then I kind of discover that I find it very hard to love and invest in romantic relationships.
Can you answer as to whether your parents were critical of you growing up? Were they?
No.
They weren't.
Are your parents together?
Yes.
What's your position in the family? Are you a first child?
Third.
You're the third.
Second girl.
Interesting. My next question. Did you have any relationship that scarred you that you have not healed from?
Yes, but I think I'm healed from it.
Okay. How much detail can you share? How bad was it?
So he broke up a week to his own introduction.
Da, 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 da.
Let me tell you something.
Please, let's
Okay,
pay attention.
All right. Let me start with this. Please pay attention. Listen.
One house, please.
Please.
Listen. Guys, you realize this is a real person standing in front of us who has gone through real pain. So this is not just a comic book you read and you saw something funny. Be sensitive, okay? So tell me about your friends, the platonic friendships you have. What's the longest you've had?
6, 7.
6 years. And very good friends.
Yeah.
So it's just romantic relationship that is the problem. So give me an example of something you saw that you just said, you know what, I'm out of here.
Insecurity.
Like he was insecure.
Yeah. So
Give me more context.
I know that I'm a very ambitious person. So this person constantly feels like I'm too ambitious. Like I should have to probably bring myself to his level. And I just walked away. That's one.
Wait. In what ways? Hold on now. We are the counselors. Do you realize she could be wrong in her interpretation? Because of the trauma, she might have seen some of his comments that way. I'm not discounting it yet. She might be right. In fact, there's a reason I asked the question. All the people that she cut away from probably deserve to be cut away from. So it's possible she doesn't have any problem. It's possible. Because statistically, the people who struggle in romantic relationships also struggle in all forms of relationship. So if she has strong platonic relationships, it's possible that there is no damage here. That after the first traumatic relationship, she just got smarter and knew how to spot red flags faster. Because, I've said it, there are a lot of idiots out there, both genders. So what exactly, did he say that to you verbatim? What did he do that gave you that impression?
Yes, he said that, like, you're too ambitious for a lady or something like that.
Then, okay, can you give me what context? What made him say you were too ambitious?
So I was sharing something I wanted to do in my mind with him. So we've talked about like other goals, and then it was like,
you were sharing your goals with somebody that you were dating, and he said you are too ambitious. Okay, do you mind giving what goal did you share with him?
So I want to be a fashion designer.
That's the ambition that he said you are too ambitious. All right. Listen. Can you see why it's good to ask questions? My dear, I don't think there's anything wrong with you. Such a person, listen. Cutting it off. What you think is a problem might actually be a sign of high emotional intelligence. You can spot something with the smell. There are some people who have sensitive nose. Have you seen people who say something is smelling, and you say there's nothing until they check? So it might be a sign, because if you had married that guy, you would have seen shege all your life. Telling somebody who is supposed to be in love with you that you want to be a fashion designer is too ambitious. Please. So I don't see the problem here. You are going to find the right person who genuinely loves you, believes in your visions. You deserve somebody who will even be pushing you. You see this woman there, I don't allow her to do small stuff.
So true.
I don't allow her to do small stuff.
So true.
That, okay, if you are doing it, at least do it big.
Yeah.
And guess what? Now, on our own self, some of the ambition, do you understand? I'm like, wow. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's
Now
how it ought to be.
Now,
So please go on with your life. There's nothing wrong with you. All right. God bless you.
Good evening, Pastor. Good evening, Theo. Good evening, church. Okay, so my name is Glory. First of all, I'm sorry, I know there's no time. I want to quickly cite something. So I saw something on social media where a guy actually took a girl out and they were supposed to get ice cream. Apparently, the ice cream they were supposed to get was like 26K. And the lady said, oh, this is too much. Let's go to somewhere cheaper. And they went to get, I'm sure a lot of people have seen that. And then
I've not seen it.
Okay,
so tell me.
And then they went somewhere else and got that same ice cream for I think 5,000 or 6,000. And the guy said because of that act, he felt this was the time to take the relationship forward. Now, I believe consideration is a very pure form of love for someone to consider you. But in our generation, a lot of people would say a guy that loves you would want to spend on you. If he's not investing in you or spending on you, he doesn't really love you.
Investing on top of ice cream.
So sorry. When I saw that post, I was just scrolling through the comments and I saw someone who I respect and look up to a lot. And then she said, any man who loves you would want to invest in you no matter the amount. So I am thinking...
Investment, ice cream. Let me tell you something. I'm going to give the floor to my wife. Listen to me. And ladies, if you are honest with me, you will admit it. Hopefully, I'm not referring to church girls, but maybe when you were in the world, there are some guys you don't really see a future with, but he wants to spend money, so why not? But the moment you found somebody you were serious with, and you were planning a future with, if he's spending anyhow, you get nervous.
Yes.
That you want to spend our future, what's going on? The truth is, we lie to ourselves many times online. We know the truth. Anybody who's spending, you are not cautious of, you are not, you're spending anyhow, and you don't get worried, you don't plan a future with that. Most ladies, their reflex is to make sure the guy is responsible with the way he spends his money, because they see their future with him. Very simple.
I wanted to be sure what your question was specifically.
Yeah, so my question now is, to a lady who is actually looking to, should I say, be with somebody, and you believe in consideration. I work, so I know how finances can be in this day and time. Would you say that if somebody loves you, they should want to like spend and invest like to that?
All right. So the reason why I said invest on top of ice cream is not as if maybe they were trying to figure out what school should we put our children in, and they said let's go to a cheaper school, or it's a health emergency and it says 26K is too expensive, let's go to cheaper. So it comes down to priorities.
Exactly.
It comes down to what you value as a person. It's cheap girls that use things like ice cream to be judging future, or things like I find those things so weird, because when you are doing marriage, where you are going to is long, so you can't use something like that scenario to touch on value. Do you get? When you are with someone, praise the Lord, when you are with someone, you want to be very intentional about what they value. There was a guy I was in the talking stage with before, of course, I started dating my husband. I'm waiting for you guys. All right, good. And you want to take me out one day. So we're at the bus stop walking. They give me side eye.
I want to hear the story now.
So we're at the bus stop walking to, just waiting. I think we're about to go out. And you know these people that come to ask for money, like these deaf and dumb guys that ask for money. And this guy gave them 5 naira. 5 naira. And I knew in that moment, I ought not to be here. Because he was willing to spend on me. Like, I didn't even know 5 naira like still existed at the time. So, when you're talking about money, the context is very important. If it's something that really has to do with destiny, future, if it's someone that maybe I don't know, how does he take care of his family? How does he take care of people in his life? What are the things he invests his money in? Those are the things that you should look out for when it comes to money habits. One of the things that really endeared me to my husband from when we first met, when I was in 100 level or 200 level, I started this NGO, and one of the first things we did was we fed all the security guys in school at that time, and we were feeding them when the money ran out. And I remember I called Emmanuel then. He came with an envelope, 1,500, and it was
5 naira.
Iren dollars.
1.5. We're not joking. We're not joking here.
And he said, we just wanted to support you. Of course, he said it was the ministry, but I knew that it was him. He put it in an envelope and said, this is just to support what you're doing. And it really touched me. So when you're talking about investment, these are the kind of things you're talking about, no ice cream. Not, so it depends on...
Can I quickly say this? It is you see this thing we're talking about? Because there is an aspect to which this is relative. In the context, 26K is small for some people. In some contexts, what the lady did was probably wrong. God forbid, in some alternate universe, if I was single and I'm taking a lady out, and because there are some ladies like that, I want to buy 26K ice cream for you. Say, no, it's too expensive. Some people are too small-minded to receive love. So there is that. All right? But if it is coming from a place of a knowledge and an assessment of where the guy is financially, then that is consideration. But I want to say this. Even when somebody has 500K, there are different perspectives of what is expensive and what is cheap. Listen carefully, those of you who are single. It's a very important thing to watch out for. What financial priorities do you share? Because for some people, listen, there are some people who will think maybe, even then when I didn't have much money, the type of shirts I used to wear were too expensive. Or right now, am I allowed to say this? The perfumes I buy are too expensive. But it's a priority issue. And financial compatibility is a thing. So that you don't tell a guy who has 3 million and bought PS5 of 700,000 that, what are you doing? See, some of these things can be relative. There's an aspect to, I'm just bringing a different dimension to this.
Yeah.
There's an aspect to which neither of you are wrong. But if you're going to work together, at least have some semblance of similarity in the way you view money and spending. I just wanted to chip that in because this thing can affect homes in real life. So I just wanted to chip that in. God bless you. Thank you.
And then, sorry, let me chip into what Apostle chipped in. When it comes to spending, there's also the aspect of, so for example, if my husband spends on perfumes, I don't complain because he spends on helping people, taking care of his family, giving to the poor. There are some people that will spend so much on some things that they like, but nothing on the people that they love. So sometimes somebody doesn't mind buying you a car, but when you see the way he takes care of his mother, so those things, when you look at the other things that this person spends on, it's now, it's okay if he splurges. He takes great care of us. So
financial priority in totality, not just one spending culture, but look at the whole thing and make your decision. Thank you.